and welcome back to another episode of Why I Hate This Movie. I'm your host, Derek Rios, as always with my heterosexual life mate, my co-host, Danny Newton. Say hi, Danny.
Hello, Derek. How are you?
I'm great, Danny. What month is it, Danny?
It's October.
Wrong. You know what month it is? ROCKtober, baby! Woo!
Excellent.
Do you smell what the rock is cooking?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I do.
What's he cooking?
He's cooking a shitty movie.
Whoa. Dwayne Johnson has never made a bad movie.
But there have been many bad movies made with him in it.
No. He can do no wrong.
Nah, he can do no wrong. Even as bad as this was, it wasn't that bad.
No. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
It had me laughing. So we're doing
2002's The Scorpion King.
The Scorpion King. This movie derived off after the sequel to The Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
The Mummy Returns or whatever.
Yep.
And he
known for the worst CGI ever.
Probably the worst CGI ever in a major release.
Mm-hmm.
And there was good CGI too back then.
Yeah. They had no excuse. Fucking Lord of the Rings existed.
Yeah. And in that movie,
mm-hmm.
the Scorpion King got his debut, and they just CGI'd Dwayne Johnson's head onto some horrible scorpion monster.
Yeah.
And then they thought, let's make a movie about it.
Yeah. When I was sitting there watching this movie, there's only one scene that actually makes this, quotes, the Scorpion King, right? Yeah. Without that, this would have just been The Rock running around the desert. You know, the one scene in this movie that pertains to anything remotely scorpionish,
mm-hmm.
this could have been just called anything. It didn't have to be the Scorpion King.
No, he gets poisoned by scorpion venom.
Yeah.
And it's flowing through his veins from now on. That's why he's the Scorpion King.
All right. So the setup for this movie.
And eventually, it's like Spider-Man. He mutates into a scorpion.
Obviously.
That's
obviously.
Natural
there
evolution.
Could be no other explanation.
Poisoned by a scorpion.
So the setup for this movie is very much any other sword and sorcery kind of movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got your big bad, and at the head of his armies, we're just rolling across the land, conquering everybody, right? The few free tribes that are left want to get together and kill this dude
mm-hmm.
before he fucking rolls them too.
Yeah.
So they hire Arcadians. So the Arcadians in this movie are like just fucking badasses and assassins and like warriors and shit like that.
It's three Arcadians. It's The Rock and his two brothers.
Well, yeah.
Because apparently all the other Arcadians were wiped out.
Yeah. Well, you know why they're wiped out? 300. They were used as shock troopers in 300, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The Arcadians in that movie are just fucking peasants. Bullshit farmers, they're putties.
That just shows you how much better the Spartan is, right?
Yeah. This movie opens. Holy shit. The opening of this movie is fucking absurd.
It's great.
It's not bad. I loved it.
It's hilarious. Absurd. Off the bat.
Yeah.
You get, so his brother's been captured
mm-hmm.
by some random savages.
Yeah. They're celebrating all their victories. They fought and killed all these different tribes. Babylonians, Sumerians, and now Arcadians.
Yeah. So you see The Rock climbing up a snowy mountain.
Yes.
Dragging a rock behind him.
Yes.
He lifts this boulder and throws it at something, and the entrance to this tent explodes.
Yeah. Yeah. So when he blows the entrance to this tent off the hinges, I guess.
Yeah.
He's firing arrows.
Yeah, he comes in, firing a volley, 3 arrows at a time.
Yeah.
Legolas doesn't have shit on.
Oh, dude, they had to one up Legolas.
Oh.
They couldn't let Legolas get away with that shit.
No, man. This is Legolas on crack.
Because this is the same year Two Towers come out.
Yeah.
So they had to put Legolas through his paces. He was hitting people with arrows so hard,
it
was blowing them across a fucking football field size tent.
Well, not only that, one guy went flying out of the tent off into the fucking space.
Yeah.
We don't even see where he lands.
Yeah.
He just keeps going.
He got blown out of the movie.
It shows the 3 different arrows that he fires.
Yeah.
And one's a traditional mace, and one's a spike mace.
Yeah, they're like balls.
One's a ball with the spikes, yeah.
Yeah.
And the third one is like a cross almost.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like a little trident. I'm pretty sure if you hit someone with that much force of an arrow, it would just go through them.
Yeah. It's not going to pick you up and lift you off. It's going to blow a fucking softball-sized hole through you before it does
It'd be like hitting him with a 50 cal or some shit.
Yeah. He is literally firing a fucking Barrett longbow. It's ridiculous.
You never really see this feat of strength again throughout the rest of the movie, though.
No, you don't.
The rest of it's more normalized.
It's more normalized, but there is still an absurd amount of archery in it.
Oh, yeah.
Almost all fights are archery.
Which is really strange because you wouldn't think Dwayne Johnson would. You don't look at him and see archer. You just see warrior.
Mm-hmm.
He has to have something different because after this, they introduce the villain.
Mm-hmm.
With this introduction, he's the greatest swordsman in the world. So he can't beat him in swords. So.
Yeah, it would almost make sense if he did beat him with swords, though, right?
Well, he can't because the movie stated he's the greatest swords. That's why he leads the army.
But if Rock beats him with a sword, that makes The Rock the greatest swordsman. It's doable.
But history already stated that Memnon is the greatest swordsman.
Fine.
So he blows through these guys in this tent and then busts out a weapon. And while this fight scene's going on, this whole scene's amazing, by the way.
Dude, it's so fucking
There's
goofy.
one guy up in the rafters just chucking knives at his brother who's tied up.
He's not moving. It's a stationary target.
And it's pretty amazing how inaccurate this guy is. He's landing all around him. It's like on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one that's actually going to hit, Rock throws a guy in front of it.
Yeah. God, there's a bunch of that too.
Oh, it's so good.
The big boss has these stupid fucking spring-loaded bone axe things.
Yeah.
They look like fucking moose antlers on each side of a club.
They look so awful.
It does. It's so fake looking.
So he drops the chandelier or whatever.
Yeah, the big candelabra thing.
The candelabra.
He drops down on
it.
it.
And it misses.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you missed.
It missed. But he steps over it. Yeah. This thing's made of like horns and candles.
Yeah,
he
it's
steps
full of
one
spikes.
foot over it and then stops and it's like, oh, you missed. And
why would you stop?
No, I have no idea. And then, of course,
The Rock ties the other end of the rope around that dude's neck that was throwing knives and just pushes him off the balcony, and somehow it just catapults this thing back up through the ceiling.
Well, he rides down with it.
And it Michael Bay explodes.
Yeah. That's how candles work. Okay?
Michael Bay
The guy got crushed like he was going up an elevator.
He got fucking like spikes drove through his nuts and crushed into the ceiling and then exploded.
Oh.
Holy shit. That's like the first couple minutes of this movie.
Yeah. And then he looks at his brother and his brother just shakes his head like, oh, Dwayne.
And he's just like, you better be glad you're my mother's son or some stupid shit.
Glad we have the same mother.
Yeah.
So we get a little intro, it just starts out as apparently a horde tribe, and then he gains leadership over it by being the best swordsman in the world.
Yeah.
In some of the cutscenes, Memnon slaughtered all that opposed him.
Yeah.
But it shows a field of people peasants bowing down to him.
And then he murders them all down.
He murders them. It's like he slaughtered all that opposed him. These people aren't opposing him. They're just they're showing their loyalty.
They bent the knee, Daenerys.
Yeah. And he still murdered him.
Oh, wait. That movie doesn't exist.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
I don't know what that show is.
Yeah. His haircut.
Yeah. His haircut's very modern.
Oh, he's got this fro hawk into a ponytail, shaved sides of the head.
Mm-hmm. Fabulous hair.
I mean, it looks cool, but
shit explodes around him. He catches on fire, never a hair out of place.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. He's a beautiful man.
No one has haircuts like that.
No.
Back then.
No.
Or
definitely not. Definitely not. He might as well have had a mullet.
I mean, it's close, right?
Yep.
Then we get the tribal council. This free tribe, it's interesting because I was under the impression that this was all taking place in like Egypt.
I was under the impression that this was all taking place in the Middle East.
But you got the Arcadians, who they're Sassans, which are from Greece.
Yeah.
And then you have...
literally like Amazonian tribal women.
Yeah, you have Amazonian tribal women, and then obviously African tribes. And then some random Mongolians?
I guess so. And then you have straight up Greeks.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
do you think they were supposed to be Mongolians or Greeks?
The Asian, there were some Asian guys.
The old king that paid them.
The leader, the one, he's white. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're like British. The Greeks have more of a tan.
Yeah.
So there's some European.
You think they're a European tribe? You think he was conquering that far north already?
That's the only thing he
must have been,
like,
right?
Like Greece is there, so he had to be
Germanic. Yeah, I guess so.
There had to be something in Europe.
I guess so.
We meet Balthazar.
Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Yep, straight off the Green Mile.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Kingpin.
The first Kingpin.
Yeah. Michael Clark Duncan is supposed to be like, not like a bad guy antagonist to The Rock, but he's supposed to be an antagonist to The Rock. Yeah. Like a power rival kind of thing. The rest of the tribes are just kind of there in passing. Well, except the one kid that murders his own father.
Yeah, well, the leader's kid, yeah.
Yeah.
They gotta be like British or some shit, bro.
They gotta be, you're right, they gotta be European. They gotta be like a European nomadic tribe or something.
So they pretty much just hire these Arcadians to go kill the sorceress. That way, because Memnon, the bad guy, has a sorceress who can just see the future, and that's how he's winning all these battles.
Yep. Paid him with a sack full of red marbles.
20 rupees.
I thought it was 30 blood rubies.
20 blood rubies.
Blood rubies.
Yeah.
Red glass.
Red glass.
Paid him with a sack full of red glass.
So then we get the scene where The Rock and his two brothers sneak into this Memnon's camp.
Mm-hmm. The Rock who rides a camel.
Yeah. Right, rides a camel because it's smart.
Yes.
Not fast, but smart.
Mm-hmm. That's what matters. When you're running from people, smart matters over fast.
I mean, who's going to chase after him? Who's going to murder anything to chase after him, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So
I guess that's very true.
They sneak into this camp. He uses a bow.
Oh, my God.
Pretty much grappled down into this camp.
Yes. So he does tie the rope to an arrow, shoot it somewhere, I guess into one of the side of one of these tents or something.
It was like a wood placard on top of a tent. Yeah.
And then ties it to the camel to rope in.
Yep.
Anybody who's listening to this really needs to go watch Shadowversity's video on this. That guy fires arrows into everything. This does not work at all. You can't even fire it with the rope on it. It would not go the distance.
If you had his level of strength.
You're right. He's not using a mere bow, is he? He's firing a fucking handheld ballista.
You see later that the one guy, the traitor from the king's son, he couldn't draw the bow.
Right.
Yeah. It's got like a plus 20 strength modifier or something.
Right,
like that, right?
Right. The Rock just draws and holds this thing for long periods of time.
Oh, yeah.
That's not doable.
It is if you're The Rock.
So he decides to fire the rope arrow and grapples a thing, ties it to his camel, and he's going to...
He uses a chain.
Yeah. He's going to zip line into the camp, I guess, because walking and sneaking is too easy.
Well, he's got to take out the one guard that's elevated.
Right. He can't shoot that guard with the bow.
No, that's too noisy.
He's got a rope beside it.
Too noisy. So he's going to land in the middle of the camp by accident and then just start
him to death.
Fighting people. Start murdering guys. And no one else noticed because they're in their tents.
Right. They're all nice and sound asleep.
They're soundproof tents. No, they're partying in their soundproof tents.
They're coming off of victory. They're all drunk.
Yeah.
They're all asleep. Something like that. So they're sneaking down this open like alleyway that has just cloth strung up on each side of it for no reason at all because obvious trap.
It's a tent. They're tents. That's a row of tents.
Okay, it's a row of tents. So they're sneaking down this thing, and then the cloth drops, and they just get pelted with arrows.
Yeah,
that's stupid.
There's well, The Rock jumps and like flips over a tent, right?
Right.
But his brothers aren't that nimble.
Essentially, what they're doing is they're going to walk into somebody's house and kill them.
Yeah.
But how are they going to walk into their house? Through the front door.
Mm-hmm.
They're walking straight through the fucking front door to do this.
It's the only way to get to the back.
This is a fucking terrible plan.
Well, they're also shooting straight across at each other, right?
Yeah. They should be crossfiring each other.
Yeah, there's going to be crossfire.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird uses of bows in this movie. When they're going through the castle, guards are just running around with their bows drawn.
Yeah.
In a castle, tight corridors.
Like I said, this is because of Lord of the Rings. This is
really?
Yes.
Okay.
This is definitely because of Legolas. It's got to be.
No.
Because before Lord of the Rings, when's the last time you watched a movie like this and longbows were treated like the M16 of their day?
Robin Hood.
Don't fucking go Kevin Costner on me. Besides Robin Hood.
I don't know.
Exactly. Okay. It rarely is depicted like that, right? But because Legolas made it so popular, everybody has to have a fucking bow in this movie. A big sword isn't good enough anymore, Conan. You gotta have a bow.
Well, bows are cool, right?
I guess so. So his brother and other guy?
It's both of them are his brothers.
Oh, okay. They get pelted down by arrows, and he narrowly evades it by jumping over the cloth barrier thing that's funneling them into this death trap.
He climbs up onto the sorcerer's tent.
He's standing on top of a tent.
It's structured. And, all like 250 pounds of him on a tent.
Yes.
That's fine.
250 pounds of him plus all the shit he's carrying, which is probably another 40, 50 pounds of stuff.
Maybe.
I mean, his sword is gigantic. It's got to be at least 10 pounds. That's beside the point. He's standing on a cloth top tent.
Well, I mean, it's got like this like ring area. He jumps in and the sorcerer is in there and we finally see the sorcerer.
Yes.
And instantly Dwayne's like, I can't murder this hot chick.
Yeah, for real.
Damn. I remember every time I watched this movie as a child, just trying to see
how much
her nip slip.
How much of it they show us.
Yeah. It's gotta be a nip slip. There's so many scenes where she's naked and falling.
Yeah.
They did a really good. The editor did a really good job.
They do have a naked hot chick in a lot of scenes in a PG-13 movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of fucking hot women in this.
There's a harem and
even like
a couple different scenes.
Even like the street whores he was walking by are kind of smoking hot. Yeah. Definitely not realistic for the time, probably.
All just fake breasts.
Yep.
All natural. I mean.
So he cuts a hole in the top of his tent. He's about to shoot her. And she turns around and she's hot. So he can't do it.
And she's like, you've been betrayed. And
yeah, he tells him his name, Matthias.
Matthias. He's like, you know my name?
What'd you say, Martha?
Oh, okay.
How'd you know that name?
Of course, he gets captured. The leader of the guard comes in with a pitchfork and pins him.
God.
They capture him, kill his brother in front of him.
Yep.
And they have a saying. Was it live free,
die well.
Die well. The sorceress kind of steps in. He's about to kill Dwayne. The Memnon is about to kill Dwayne. And the sorceress kind of steps in. It's like, oh, you can't kill him. You're a bad omen.
Yeah. He's not to die by your hand or any hand that you command.
Yeah.
And if somebody would have told me his destiny is not to be killed by me, I was like, stick him in the throat. It looks like he's dying. He looks like he died pretty good.
Oh, it's a bad luck. It's a bad omen now. Okay?
Oh, I've conquered everything. I'll take a little bad luck.
He's almost conquered everything. Okay.
Woo.
Well, now that he's conquered everything, well, he just gives it over to Dwayne.
Yeah. He's done all the work. So
they instead of killing him, he buries him.
Yes.
And lets him die to these ants.
Yeah. He gets knocked unconscious. He wakes up buried from the neck down. With Rob Schneider. The character that I'm pretty sure felt like should have been Rob Schneider. It definitely should have been Rob Schneider.
The actual actor is Grant Heslov.
Yeah.
He's been in a few movies. Arpid is his name.
Oh.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I don't think it ever says it, but his credit is Arpid.
Yeah. I refer to him as in my mind as not Rob Schneider.
Well, he's a horse thief. He got caught. He says he's a monk or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know, he's probably lying. He's like, oh, it's crazy. These ants are going to eat you, just eat the flesh off your skull. Kind of like Indiana Jones did later, right?
Yeah.
Indiana Jones literally copied this thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
This crystal skull. He turns his head and like the guard stops watching for a second. He just magically pops out of this hole.
Yeah. Yeah. These fucking ants are deadly. These things are a real problem.
Well, how did he get out of the hole?
You can get out of holes like that. Whenever magicians do it, they'll take and they'll inflate their chest as they're being buried, right? That way their chest is inflated. They breathe deeper the whole time. Mm-hmm. So when they're breathing shallower, their chest retracts some and that lets them wiggle up out.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's how he got out of this hole. One guard, I can't remember if he murdered the first one that was drunk or not.
He knocks him out.
He knocks him out.
Oh, he knocks him into the
other
nest,
one into a fucking...
Yeah, they're both dead.
Yeah. Like, holy shit. Those ants swarm and eat that guy in just seconds. This has got to be
It doesn't
a major
show, because it's
problem.
PG-13. It doesn't, you don't get the blood. It's kind of like that last one we just did, Venom.
Yeah.
It doesn't show the blood.
You're right.
It doesn't show being eaten alive and stuff. In Indiana Jones, it actually shows them just devouring. The person just kind of melts into the sea of ants.
That's a horrible way to die.
I can imagine.
Well,
I can't imagine. But yeah, it's got to be pretty terrible.
The Rock makes a deal with him like, yeah, I'll take you on my adventures and stuff like that.
I won't kill you.
And I won't kill you. And he burns the ants off. Helps dig the Rock out of the hole.
Well, then we just get a cutscene.
Yeah, we get a cutscene. Everything is in transition scenes like that.
Yeah.
Every part of this. We're going to go do this thing. Cutscene.
Well, we got to get it down to like precisely an hour and a half. We got to get these people out of this theater.
More. An hour and a half. This movie felt like a fucking 3-hour watch.
No, it actually, I felt like it went by pretty quick.
Not for me. Like,
really?
This thing fucking dragged for me.
I think it went by pretty quick. They escape. They go to Gomorrah.
Right.
Which is Memnon's, where his castle's at. And he sneaks into Gomorrah by knocking out the horse thief.
Yeah. He's like, I'm here to claim a bounty.
Using it as a bounty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sneaks in and then leaves the horse thief with his camel.
Yeah.
And who becomes a camel thief?
Leaves him drinking at the bar.
The guy who steals animals.
With another hot woman.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Maybe Memnon just went around and killed all the ugly women.
I believe it.
Maybe that's who that was in that pile of peasants that was kneeling down. It's just all the uggos from the region. Memnon only leaves beautiful people alive.
There are only 8s and up in this movie.
Dude, for fucking real. Charisma +2.
Yeah, there's no unattractive women. And they're all skimpily clad too.
Yeah. This is kind of another one of those situations where The Rock's idea to finish the job is to, again, just walk up through the fucking front door.
Well, some kid steal his purse, his coin purse.
Yeah.
And
he wouldn't have got that back.
No, he caught the child. The kid helps him sneak in.
That shit would have been gone, though. He ain't catching those kids.
No, probably no.
Yeah, he gets the kid to sneak him into the palace or whatever.
And he gives him a blood ruby.
Yeah.
They hide in the room with the king's alchemist.
Who's like, are you here to kill Memnon? Good. Let me help you with that.
Are you going to kill me? Maybe later. Pretty much everyone in this movie, Balthazar, this guy, the horse thief.
Yeah, Rock's just going to kill later.
Yeah. He threatens to like, I'm going to kill you. Probably later, though.
Probably later.
I can kill you if I felt like it, okay?
Right.
He wants to make sure everyone know that he's better than them, which he is.
Yes.
100%. So the alchemist is working on black powder.
Yes.
And he goes over and it's like, oh, there's Chinese magic. If I get the Chinese formula right, it's important because this is a big part of the movie later.
This is literally straight, like I said, this is literally straight out of Lord of the Rings. This is like Wormtongue going, but my lord, how can fire undo stone?
The alchemist is Bernard Hill.
Yes.
Do you know, his name is Philos, but do you know what other movie that he was in that year?
Oh gosh, I'm honestly not sure. Was he in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, he was Theoden from Lord of the Rings. That
no
same
shit.
Year. Same year.
I knew he looked so fucking familiar.
Yeah, he did Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Is the King of the Deep.
Yep. Yeah, King Theoden.
King Theoden.
he looked different enough that I was just like, man, I fucking know this guy from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't put my finger on it like that. No, it didn't connect.
That was him.
Holy shit. But yeah, like the black powder scene was lifted directly from Lord of the Rings. All the bow use in this was lifted from Lord of the Rings.
This came out before Lord of the Rings, though. Lord of the Rings came out at the end of the year. This came out in April.
Well, the first Fellowship had already been released the year before. This dude was shooting this and Two Towers at the same time.
Do you think that actor, Bernard Hill, is like, hey, man, they're doing this, man. We can take this and put it in our movie? Just taking ideas from Lord of the Rings. And
fucking might as well. Might as well.
Surely not. So he sneaks up to the rooftop where Memnon's training with
like Shaolin monks,
and he's just beating him up because he's the best swordsman in the world.
Yeah, he's training with like kendo sticks, just beating the shit out of these two Asian guys. He stands there and lets the other dude shoot an arrow at him so he can catch it to just show you he's a badass. Yeah, well, it's so we know that. If he shoots an arrow, I mean, probably just catch it, right,
or deflect it. He deflects many arrows with his weapons.
Yeah, it's like a fucking lightsaber. This is also not long on the heels of the prequel trilogy, too.
Oh, God. So Dwayne's about to take the shot, and the kid gets caught. They're gonna take him.
Because he gave him a treasure so much above this kid's station. Of course he fucking stole it.
Oh, yeah. There's no way some peasant kid is supposed to have this. Yeah. And
you can't say I found this shit on the street.
Or earned it, right?
Right.
They're gonna cut his arm off. Who the executioner is... Oh... We forgot the...
Oh, yeah. The person who sold out King whoever's son.
His name's Talmat.
Talmat.
The scene where they were in the tent.
Yeah, he literally just got his dad head and throws it on the ground in front of him.
He's like, I give you my allegiance but with my father's head, and throws his dad's severed head, pulls him out of a bag.
Yeah.
Which means, because he had went probably days ahead and told him that, these guys, or at least that day, had told him these guys are coming to kill him. Yeah, he's just walking around with his dad's head in a bag for just hours and days, probably. And just waiting to point, like, oh, yeah, I got this guy. Look, I'm on your team now.
Why didn't he get executed with the rest of the people, right?
Yeah, he was betraying him at some point. So that we can recognize who his character is. Yeah. He doesn't change armor at all throughout the movie. He's always wearing the same shit, even though he's on their team now.
Right. But... the kid's about to get his hand cut off for thievery, and The Rock has to make a choice of, do I take the shot on Memnon, or do I try to save this kid's life?
This is probably the only point in the movie where The Rock actually has like a conscious moment where it's like, okay, I'm going to be the good guy.
Wouldn't it have been easier to shoot the prince or whatever that was about to cut the kid's hand off than shoot the axe?
No.
Really?
Because he knows that guy, and that guy's a traitor.
Oh, he's a named character.
Yeah.
So he has to stick around to the end.
Yeah, he can't die to the end.
He has to be killed later. I forgot. My bad.
He not only shoots it out of his hand, he shoots it so hard it pins to the wall. It's an executioner's axe. It just hits the handle.
Yeah.
Pins it to a wall.
Yeah. So stupid. So bad.
And of course,
it's so fucking bad.
It's great. It's so good. It gives the king time to pull out his swords and deflect
his lightsaber. He deflects the blaster bolt with.
The Rock starts getting chased by the guards.
Yeah. He goes back into the fucking alchemist lab.
Yeah.
Who is working on a fucking catapult.
He happens to have a catapult in there.
It was a device I was going to use for high-speed transportation. The landings were kind of rough. Some shit like that.
So he has a catapult, and it just so happens to be facing a window. The only window in the room, pretty much.
Right.
Cool. And Dwayne Johnson instantly knows how this catapult works and launches himself.
Well, he tells him, he's like, oh, don't touch that. You'll set it off. Yeah. He's like, oh, right.
But he doesn't know what it does. He doesn't know it's going to launch him.
We don't have time for that, Derek.
So he just launches himself out the window, across to the next tower, into the harem.
He's a rogue, and that's how use device checks work.
On the fly? Damn, he has a high use device check. You're right. Yeah, he lands in the middle of harems, and they're just like, a guy! Woo!
Oh, man, we're so lonely.
And again, never trust whores.
No.
Never trust whores.
No.
Oh, they're rubbing up on him, and they take all of his weapons.
Yeah.
Then the guards come in.
Yeah, they bang the gong to let the guards know he's in there, and they start attacking him with the weapons they took off of him.
Yeah, and he has nothing left. They took everything but his dignity.
The guards are all armed with bows.
Yep.
So he goes behind the gong, and the guards are just shooting the gong. What the fuck are you doing with your life, guys?
They're going to penetrate the gong. It's just like bullets, bro. It's like they're shooting bullets at him.
They're not literally shooting an M16 at him. They try to use bows in ways that they wouldn't use bows. And as many arrows as they were letting fly, there have been dead whores laying all over this place. According to Scorpion King logic, there would be dead whores pinned to walls.
Oh, yeah.
Just all over this place.
He rolls it out the door and
off of a balcony.
Where
it falls down and squishes people. Did you see that? No, that one dude got hit by it.
It just starts rolling through town. It probably murdered a bunch of people.
Jesus Christ.
He just lets go and free falls 100 feet. It hits the small net that we know that he tore through easily.
The chief guard is about to fucking kill him on the thing.
Yeah.
Right? So he lets goes and free falls, and the guard just fucking pushes his other two buddies off like, go after him.
Go after him.
That's not how that shit works.
No, they gotta catch him, bro.
What if he didn't live through it? Do you think that through?
Well, they're there to make sure. So they both splat into the roof, and he goes through this window.
Yeah.
It then just hits concrete.
Yeah, you're led to believe that he hits stuff on the way down.
No, he hits a paper-thin lining.
But that slows him down just enough the fall doesn't kill him. Okay,
he free falls 100 feet. No, it hits concrete. But he's fine.
He's fine. Gets up.
Like always.
He's got too many hit points.
There's this pool. For some reason, the sorceress is just submerged.
Yeah.
It's submerged, and she pops out of it.
Naked sorceress comes up out of the water.
Only thing covering her
hair
breasts.
Perfectly over her breasts.
Perfectly. She's just like, well, you gonna kill me or look at me? I was like, I don't mind looking. So he jumps in. Pretty much
cuts him.
She cuts him, and he's like, ow. And the guards are beating at the door. So he's like, hold your breath. And then
he pulls the drain.
For some reason, there's a slide.
There is a manhole-sized drain in the bottom of this pool.
It's a slide. It's literally pretty much a slide, and they just slide out of the bottom of this drain.
Yeah, and assuming that this is the sewer, they should be falling into the shit pool.
No, this
beautiful naked woman. Should be falling into raw sewage.
This is they hit the reservoir apparently and come out in a fountain, this is the city's drinking water. She's bathing in the city's drinking water. That's literally, that's what it is.
This movie's fucking bad.
It's great. It's so good. Yeah, so he's making a wish, throwing a penny in the well.
Yeah, and a naked woman comes out of the drain.
He's like, damn, it worked. It should work quick.
I wish I could get laid.
So, they managed to escape the city.
Yeah.
Right before the doors closed.
Yeah.
And then the horse thieves trying to steal his camel.
He's dead. Come on. Your master is dead.
Which he should have been. But no, he's fine. Of course, they find him. Then they ride to the Valley of the Dead.
Right.
Which apparently is...
it's bad. That's why it's called the Valley of the Dead.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Well, no, that's Rock's home, right?
Right.
Sandstorm desert.
Fucking conveniently timed sandstorms.
Also, while he was in the harem, he did the people's eyebrow.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta throw that in. He didn't make any references, but he did give the eyebrow. Yeah. That's for his fans.
You know, that was actually the one thing I found kind of refreshing about all this, because normally when you get wrestlers put into movies like this, they're forced to do wrestling shit and play grab ass.
Well, he actually said that he didn't want it to just be The Rock. He didn't want it to be his character. And be tied to wrestling. He didn't want to do any of the lines. But he did give the eyebrow.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of like a little slight to his fans.
It was actually really nice that they didn't force any wrestling.
Yeah.
Right?
There's no They didn't force any jokes or anything like that. And it was nice. Yeah. There's no like actual wrestling moves. He gets in a few different scraps, fist fights. Mm-hmm. And he never does any of the fake wrestling moves and shit you see.
Yeah.
It was good. I'm glad they didn't cheese it up.
There's so many, like I said, there's so many of these fucking movies where they contract WWE stars for, and it devolves into a wrestling match. It's just like fucking Blade Trinity. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Where Triple H's shit devolved into a bad wrestling match.
Yep.
It's fucking awful.
So they go to the Valley of the Dead, which the sorceress tries to escape, but she's seen the future, so she knows that. I guess, I don't know. Maybe she can't see that far. But you think she'd know that they're going to, this is.
Maybe she only sees versions of the future, and the future's always changing. But literally, she gets up to run away, and then there's a rope tied around her ankle, and she just gets yoinked back onto the ground. And you would think she would fucking know that there was a rope tied to her.
Oh, man. He's a rogue.
He set a trap.
He's a strength rogue.
It's a rare build.
They're in the desert. Memnon sends some of his guards after him. And we get the lead guard, who's actually... in Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing I've ever seen that guy in.
Mm-hmm. That's the lead guard was actually the other big German guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I thought that was.
Yeah. It's actually kind of neat. He pulls out a little bamboo that had a piece of crystal in the end that he uses.
Yeah, he uses
as a spyglass.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat.
It's not that far off.
Yeah. They got
it's entirely plausible.
They got some neat stuff, magic-wise and alchemy-wise. Their science. He starts charging them. And then the sandstorm hits, which he sees coming or whatever.
One man camel cavalry charge.
Yeah. The sandstorm hits and he just turns into a ghost. Straight up roguelike.
Yeah.
And leads them into this cave and just starts killing them one by one.
At what level do you get hide in plain sight?
As a rogue?
As a rogue.
It depends on what edition, but normally it's in like the high level. It's like 8th or 10th level.
That's why he can follow 100 foot out of a window. He has too many hit points.
Well, he has too many hit points, and he also has slow fall.
He's a strength con build for a rogue.
Yeah. Well, he also
is his dump stat.
He also has slow fall, right? So
right,
yeah, that's the rogues get slow fall.
No, monks get slow fall.
No, rogues can get it too.
Oh, okay.
They can choose it as a rogue talent.
Okay, you're right. He's at least 10 levels of rogue.
Oh, he's 20 levels of rogue.
Everybody else is like level 0 humans.
Mm-hmm.
The sorceress might be like a level 1 sorcerer. The head guard might be a level 1 warrior.
No, the sorceress is higher level than that. She's fucking foretelling the future.
Well, she can cast level 2 spells. Okay. What is it? Clairvoyance? Or whatever you get at level 2?
She also dominated that snake.
I don't know. A variant of rope trick? Is there a variant of rope trick that lets you handle snakes? There was a cleric spell that used to let you handle snakes back in 1st edition.
Well, I'd say she's at least level 5.
Yeah.
Because I think dominate animal...
I don't think she's dominating him, though.
Control.
Charm. Yeah. Charm animal.
Charm animal?
That could easily be level 2.
She's a bard.
Possibly. Yeah. Possibly. What instrument does she play?
The vagina. Or the penis flute? Skin flute? Skin flute.
No, she can't, or she'll lose her powers, Derek.
Oh. She plays the rock skin flute.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does.
In the movie, you see when she's interacting with the king for the first time, they have to very awkwardly explain why they can't have intercourse because she'll lose her powers. That's what she's told him.
Because he wants to fuck her real bad.
Real bad. I mean, why wouldn't? And he's like, well, after I've conquered everything, I won't need your vision, so I'm going to make you my queen, and then
I'm going to rape you. Over and over.
Yeah.
Over and over.
You're going to be mine.
That's your future.
Yeah.
Did you see that in a vision?
Yeah.
So, yeah, The Rock does his one camel charge into these guards.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just fucking blowing through the shadows, killing these people out in the sand. He lures them into a cave where he just fucking shadow steps back and forth and just offs them one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back out into the sandstorm.
The main guard is the last one alive, and he runs out. Well, there's actually one other alive. He runs out alone, and they get into there's a little sword fight, and of course, The Rock beats him easily. As he's down, another guard comes up and he stabs him
as he's distracted with the other guard. He stabs him with the scorpion venom laced arrow
that Memnon gave him. The scorpion venom. Yeah.
You know, this guard didn't even have a fucking bow on him. No.
No, he didn't have a bow, but he did have a quiver.
Yes, with that one arrow in it.
Maybe the bow was on his horse. And once a sandstorm hit, it's not going to carry a bow into a cave.
Right. They might as well. They fucking carried a bow through everything else.
Yeah, that's true. I just bows drawn in formations of 3.
Yeah.
Every corner.
Form firing lines.
Yeah.
I love how they fed like a couple guards through the fucking quicksand.
Yeah. I don't understand
just to make
works.
sure it was dangerous.
Yeah. You know, you think one, like, oh, okay. But the second one's like, hey, we don't know how this works yet.
Dude. Sand is very lethal.
And it's not quicksand. It's just pitfall trap
gone.
sand. Yeah. Instantly.
Oh, man. No, what it is they're down there chilling with Ray right now under the sand, learning about the forest and healing like a snake or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's another movie that doesn't exist.
Oh, God.
Anyways.
Oh.
That's how sand works.
It coarse.
Gets everywhere.
He gets poisoned, and then the sorceress apparently sucks the venom. Cures him somehow, but like it looked like she sucked his soul out.
She gets on top of him and literally sucks the venom out of him. So she has not just visions; she has real, tangible magic.
She cured poison.
If real, tangible magic exists in this world, then why is she not the emperor?
Because she doesn't know any combat spells.
She went utility box. She's all clairvoyance, clairindescence.
Yeah. I mean,
mage hand.
You see, this is an offsplit of the Mummy. And it's not like the Mummy doesn't have magic in it. It's modern, but there's literally an ancient mummy walking around fucking casting spells.
But...
So we know that, there is some form of magic. It's very rare and ancient, but when I was in high school, I read in textbooks that Egyptians knew magic.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and it died with them, yeah.
That's how they built the pyramids.
Yeah, magic.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
It wasn't aliens, it was magic.
You're right. Yeah. They levitated the blocks in place on the backs of thousands of slaves. Because it's amazing what you can build when you don't care about people that much.
They were just watching. They were enjoying it, okay? They were happy to be there.
Right. They were happy to be part of the team.
Yeah. They were building a monument.
Sure. So she sucks the poison out of him.
Sucks his soul out. Come on. She doesn't suck the poison out. She clearly states the venom's always going to be infused in his blood forever.
Yeah, she does. This movie's bad. This movie's bad.
I'm pretty sure she reanimates the Rock and he's a mindless corpse that she's controlling now.
You think so?
I think that's the rest of the movie, yeah.
Man, she's a higher level sorcerer than we give her credit for.
I told you. She's high level.
Yeah.
Not only that, because when he gets shot later, it's like, okay, the arrow doesn't even hurt him.
That's kind of true. But then again, like we said, he's got hit points to spare. He's a strength con build.
Well, he's got a lot more now. Because he's a zombie.
Piercing weapons don't care.
Yeah. If that had been a bludgeoning arrow, it would have done more damage.
Yeah. Damn it. After that, they end up at the watering hole.
They actually run into the alchemist first, who's figured out how to use black powder.
Right.
And he's just blowing shit up out in the desert.
Right.
And then they go to the watering hole.
Mm-hmm. They get captured by Michael Clark Duncan and his crew.
Balthazar.
Yeah, Balthazar.
Balthazar. Which is a great name. I love that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good names in this, actually.
Yeah.
Memnon, that's like classic Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Matthias.
Yeah.
That's a great Greek name. Sorceress.
She didn't even get a fucking name. She's like a linchpin of this movie and she didn't even get a fucking name.
Well, it's not important enough to get a full name.
God.
Maybe she doesn't have a name. She's a sorceress, okay?
She has a name. She has a name.
Does she?
I don't know what it is.
Honestly, all right. There's a scene where Memnon's charging at her and he yells something, and I swear it's her name, and it sounds like Angela or something like that. There's no telling.
She doesn't have a name. She does. That's fucked up too. She's a main character without a name. This movie's bad.
Well, no one has last names.
But at least they gave the rest of them first names. Which
I guess back then people wouldn't have last names, right? It'd be like Carpenter and Smith and shit, right?
It would be Blah, son of Blah, or some shit, right?
Yeah.
This dude would be like Matthias, son of Matthios, or whatever.
Son of Zeus.
Fucking apparently.
Or Ares. Son of Ares makes sense.
Yeah.
They capture him, and Balthazar's like, "Hey, let's kill this bitch."
Which is the correct idea, by the way.
Probably.
Just because The Rock wants to do her doesn't mean it's not the right idea just to murder
someone's
her.
Got to do her, okay? It might as well be The Rock.
Yeah.
So, The Rock breaks free, and they fight. They start with the swords, and they clash swords.
Any man who touches her has to come through me.
Yeah. They clash swords, and they just shatter.
The weapons hit shatter. Swords so hard they shatter steel.
Yeah. And then they get into a fist fight. Yeah, Balthazar holds on. He's fucking ripped. He's buff. He's a big old guy, too. It's a pretty good little fight scene. So, interestingly enough, in this fight scene, Dwayne Johnson actually elbows him.
Yeah.
In the face and knocks him out.
Mm-hmm.
While they're filming it.
Yeah.
Knocks him out by accident for a few seconds. Apparently, Michael Clark Duncan went to get touched up.
Yeah.
And he had them put gauze in his mouth. And then he went back out and embellished it, right? And said, "Oh, I'm not going to be able to film. I can't film. I'm all messed up now." Just to make Dwayne feel bad. They just played a little prank on it. The Rock and the crew. Yeah, just to mess with him. But he got the elbow. The people's elbow.
Got the people's elbow. It finished him, KO'd him.
They KO'd him for a few seconds.
Got him to the 3 count.
So they pretty much form an alliance, and they celebrate. I don't know why. Just because they're alive, I guess.
Yeah.
The Rock finally gets his comeuppance.
Yeah.
And him and the sorcerer bangs.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's implied. I mean, we cut camera.
Well, of course.
We do the transition.
So, we see them naked right there.
That's where all the wrestling moves happen, by the way. Oh, when they transitioned and did that off screen.
It's in the director's cut, actually.
Yeah, he rock bottomed her.
Oh, yeah. Power.
Spine busted her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ran back and forth across the tent. Did the elbow drop. Gave her the people's elbow.
Power bombed her.
Yeah. Tapped it out 1, 2, 3.
Put her in her finger 4.
Yeah.
Gave her the suplex.
Yeah. Walls of Jericho even. Walls of Jericho. He stole that move.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that.
Ankle lock.
The Kurt Angle lock?
The angle lock, yeah.
Which is one of the worst finishing moves ever.
Yeah.
I'm going to twist your ankle a little bit.
Oh
no! Wrestling's real, okay?
Yeah.
It's not fake.
I mean, most lovers don't even think to put them in the sharpshooter first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, she has a vision that Memnon comes and murders all these people.
Yeah.
So she takes off and goes back to him. The Rock wakes up and they form a small group of soldiers, which it's him, Balthazar, and the Amazonians. And the rest are all girls.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the little boy sneaks on the caravan.
Mm-hmm.
And
you got the Alchemist, and you got not Rob Schneider.
And not Rob Schneider. Because they're important. They have to be there.
Right.
Because they're main characters.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Their idea to get into this town is to pretend to be prostitutes.
Yep.
Because why not?
They dress up Duncan. They dress up Balthazar as a prostitute.
Yep.
And the big Samoan guy was a guard.
Yeah.
Of course, he knocks him out, and they break in. And
he wasn't shocked that to look in the wagon and see that necessarily. He was just shocked that they left any of the Uggos alive.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, he was just shocked. Hey, why you got an ugly chick?
Wait, you're way too ugly to live.
Kill the ugly one. Oh, God.
So, yeah, they get in easily because there's only 2 dudes on guard to this whole fucking city.
Well, even though Memnon tells the traitor, like, hey,
Memnon's castle is conveniently right beside the front door. So you can just walk in and out anytime you want. It's all good.
He tells them to like fortify the guards.
Yeah. So they went up from 1 to 2.
Oh.
They doubled the guard.
I guess they were probably already in by that point. It didn't even matter.
Right.
Which leads to the final scene. The sorcerer goes to, and they're having the party.
Yeah.
And the sorcerer shows up.
At the last minute when the head of the armies or whatever is questioning, because she's the figurehead of the army.
Yeah.
She's like a J-Lo in Generation Kill.
Was she in that?
No, but she was their mascot. You know?
Oh, no. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Man, they're saying J-Lo's dead. They just don't want to tell us.
She gives all the guys power. Because you got to remember, this started out as just a barbarian tribe, apparently.
Yeah.
And then they just conquered a bunch of stuff. And
yeah. Then they kidnapped her, and she's been their good luck charm ever since.
Yeah, Memnon. That's how, Memnon.
They don't want to go to war unless they can see their lucky rabbit's foot right there.
Yeah, they're all probably, superstitious.
Yeah.
She's led them to victory so many times.
But, she comes out at the last moment to, make Memnon look good again.
Yep, and Memnon just kills the guy.
Yeah, the general's like, I'm so sorry for doubting you, my lord. And it's like, kills him.
Yeah.
Like, this is your head general, bro.
Not anymore. He questioned me, even though he was right.
Yeah.
So Memnon tests her powers. Because he's like, man, this bitch been sleeping around. We better get her tested.
Yeah.
It
I can smell ammonia.
Yeah. You look different. You feel different.
What's that? I think I smell what the Rock's cooking.
Your vagina. Yeah. So he puts these snakes in these jars.
6 jars, 4 snakes.
4 snakes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she puts her hand in. It's not supposed to be bitten, right?
Right.
That's the trick. She pulls one out because she can charm animal.
Yeah.
Pulls one out and starts threatening him with it.
So do you think she has more power than Gandalf?
Yeah, Gandalf's a level 1 wizard.
Yeah.
Level 20 fighter.
Level 25, level 1 wizard.
He literally cast light and
well, I'd say level 1 cleric.
No.
He casts
mage armor and light.
He cast cure light wounds on Pippin.
Did he?
Yeah. Whenever he touched the Flanthir or whatever and died.
Okay.
He went into negative hit points.
Okay, you're right.
And Gandalf was like, here, take a D8.
You're right. Okay, cleric. He cast light, cure, and sanctuary, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold door. Yeah, that's all very level 1 stuff.
Yeah. And then he's a level 20 fighter.
Yeah.
Because he's dual wielding a staff and a greatsword.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is more powerful than Gandalf. By far.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gandalf can't see the future.
Right.
Oh, he cast message.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he can speak with animals. Or was that just him resolving message?
I think it was message. He was just sending a message or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, she's much more powerful than Gandalf.
Mm-hmm.
By far. But she's straight sorcerer, though. So she can't use a greatsword. That's why she only stabbed the rock with a dagger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's only fishing with daggers.
Mm-hmm. Makes perfect sense. Actually, you know what? This is probably the most accurate D&D movie I've ever watched.
A lot more accurate than actual Dungeons and Dragons. But,
anyways.
So their plan is, of course, the Rock sneaks in and starts fighting Memnon. He's going to kill Memnon.
Right.
And the rest of them are kind of just holding the door, right? And fighting off the guards.
While the alchemist and Rob Schneider are packing black powder under the keep.
They found
for their not Lord of the Rings moment.
Yeah. They find the foundation pillar.
Yeah.
Which is only one apparently. And just stack enough black powder to level this fucking thing.
Yeah. Yeah. This castle would have been a crater probably.
Yeah. Just mounds of these black powder sandbags.
Mm-hmm. They're doing their fight, and I don't know what's taking them so long to set this black powder off.
Well, they have to leave a trail.
Right.
And stack all the bags.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Guards show up, pretty much capture them.
Mm-hmm.
The Amazonians are getting overwhelmed outside.
The Rock's getting beat.
The Rock's getting beat. Because he's not a better swordsman. Because Memnon's the greatest swordsman in the world.
Right.
And he's trying to fight him with a sword.
Right. But we've already established the Rock is the greatest archer in the world.
Yeah. Balthazar is also about to get
Balthasar is just like throwing himself into everything.
Yeah.
Like he's thrown himself through the guards. He threw himself into this throne room, gave Matthias his sword back.
Yeah.
And is like, go get him. I'll murder all these putties.
Yeah. He's killing guards by the droves.
Yeah.
And then he also kills the traitor. Because the traitor's riding down at the top of this tower.
Yeah.
He's got this horse and he's riding down the hallway with some trident, some weird shitty trident. Duncan's like, well, you can't, you're in a corridor. You can't use that. You can't wield this. So what are you trying to do? He just rips him off and murders him. He rides past all the chicks outside in that battle and rides all the way up to the tower.
Yeah. Somehow, he does. Like, so stupid. I don't know, man. The more I talk about this movie, I wanted to like this movie.
It's great. This movie is great. It's so good.
Fucking sucks.
It's so good. The Memnon, at one point, he splits his swords in half into two swords. And,
they're butterfly swords.
Yep, they're butterfly swords. And so and then he starts just winning, like hands down. They get outside and he dips it in fire and they become lightsabers. Somehow it's like coated in liquid fire.
Well, he dips them in the oil braziers.
Yeah.
So they're slicked in burning oil. It should be running all over his fucking hands, by the way.
No, he has guards. It's meant for this.
Yeah.
He has hand guards.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally, the whole thing's like a lightsaber.
Yeah.
It just lights up. Dwayne finally rips the weapons out of his hands in their fight.
Yeah.
And starts beating him up in a fist fight. Then you see the sorceress is there.
Yeah.
And the prophecy's coming true. To where like he kicks the rock off of the top.
And it's gloating over him.
And he's like, the gods favor me tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Then a guard shoots Dwayne in the back with an arrow.
Because of the sorceress.
Yeah.
So the sorceress is trying to do the whole bodyguard jump in front of the bullet thing.
Save you. Yeah. And he turns
that's
around
not how it works at all. Yeah.
And he gets shot because of her.
It only goes like a half-inch deep, and it's in his shoulder bone right there. He pulls it out. He's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, he pulls it out. And his bow that the traitor just happened to have, he left it on the table. The bow they captured from him. He rips the
arrow out of his back.
Yep.
And draws down on Memnon.
He pulls his bow string all the way back this time.
Yeah.
And Memnon tries to block it.
He's never pulled it all the way back before.
But this is a super high-speed fastball.
Right.
And Memnon's never seen speed and strength of this size.
He's used to some little Asian dude shooting an arrow at him. Yeah. He's not used to the rock.
Like slow arrows. Not fast arrows.
This is so fucking stupid.
And it hits him and launches him off as they ignite the black powder.
Yeah.
Which you'd think, okay, like all the main characters jump out of the castle and you think that they're blowing up the foundation building.
Yeah.
That the whole place would collapse.
Nope.
It's literally just a fireball erupts and engulfs the whole place. And then that's it. It's perfectly fine.
Right. So
the structure's completely safe.
He literally shoots and burns Memnon to death at the same time.
Yeah.
At that point, all the fighting in the city ceases at once.
Well, they see emerging at the top of the castle is Matthias and the sorceress.
Right.
He's killed Memnon. So all the guards...
They don't know that, though.
Yes, they do. There's a fiery, burnt corpse there. That's obviously him. He's got the necklace or something, bro. I don't fucking... Either way, it's just like the barbarian tribe.
Yeah.
He gained leadership by beating the boss. So
the king is dead. All hail the king.
Yeah, all hail the new king. And, everyone just bows down. All the black guard, all the red guards are pretty much dead.
Yeah.
All the keep guards, but the army, they all just bend knee immediately.
Yeah. This movie's bad.
What?
This movie's so bad. Because immediately after this, they have everybody riding off in the sunset scene and him immediately being king.
Yeah, he's the Scorpion King now.
Don't forget how you got here, Scorpion King. How does he even fucking know that?
He probably told him. He was like, oh, I was dying of scorpion venom, and then my sorceress lover here sucked my soul out, and I was zombie.
Oh, that makes sense.
Here's the crown. I'm leaving. Fuck this place.
So
that's the end of the movie. I think the most important question to ask is, do you think he would be a good king?
No. No, I don't. I don't think that at all.
Throughout the movie, he's an assassin.
Yeah.
And he's threatening people non-stop throughout the movie. So he's threatening to kill people.
Do you think, as a sword and sorcery movie, that this movie works?
I think it's fine. There's no character development or anything like that. It's just...
I don't think it works. So the closest parallel that I can even draw to this, and it's not Lord of the Rings, the closest parallel I think I can draw to this is Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Right?
It's very Conan-esque.
But Conan evolves as a character over time, right?
But that's multiple movies.
Yeah. But at the end of the first movie, you know how it goes into like the other cut. He becomes King Conan, made by his own hand, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of what this wants to be.
Well, The Rock does become king by his own hand.
Yeah. It just doesn't work for me, though. I don't like this.
I think it's fine. So, yeah, the movie, it's silly and over the top, and it has some cheesy dialogue. But, I mean, it's quick. It's an hour and a half. It's not that long of a watch. Right. It's entertaining. And, yeah, I think it's fine as a sword and sorcerer.
I don't know.
Fun little fantasy movie.
I guess.
It really has nothing to do with the Mummy.
No, not at all.
No.
Nowhere fucking close. There are so many sequels to this movie.
There are 4 sequels.
I've never seen any of them.
And none of them have The Rock.
Oh, God.
Thank God. Because I probably would have ended his career. All of them have random people. I think Ron Perlman, I think, is a bad guy or something. Or he has a cameo in the third one.
He needed a slight paycheck.
Yeah.
He had to pay his mortgage.
Well, Ron does that. You see him in some he pops up in some random movies.
Yeah.
Like the WoW commercial.
Yeah.
I don't know. The 4th, 5th, I have no idea. I actually haven't watched any of them.
I haven't either. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to watch any of them either. Fuck that.
Hey, guess what the next movie?
You're right. Like I said, there was a lot of solid talent in this. There was more solid talent in this movie than this movie fucking deserved.
Yeah. It had a couple fine actors, but it's not like they gave them anything to work with.
Like I said, the sorceress needed a name. Because, like I said, man, she's been working for a long time.
Who?
Kelly who?
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 Kelly?
Yeah, Kelly.
Oh.
Who?
Yes. She didn't have a last name. You can give her a fucking name in the movie.
She's been a voice actor in lots of shit. The first movie that I can remember, dude, she was in fucking Surf Ninjas.
I love Surf Ninjas. What's she?
Yeah. Here recently, she's been in the Orville. She was an admiral in the Orville. She was Lady Deathstrike in X2.
Oh, she was?
Mm-hmm.
Garbage movie.
Which you don't watch Arrow, but she was in a few episodes of Arrow, too.
Okay.
But yeah, she's voice acted several fucking video games.
I mean, she's still hot.
Yeah, she is. This movie does not deserve to be as good.
How much do you think this movie made? I'll tell you, the budget was $60 million.
The budget was $60 million. I think that this movie made 75 domestic.
It made 36 opening weekend.
Yeah.
91 domestic.
Well, that's more than I thought.
180 worldwide.
But that was a lot back then.
Yeah. Well, this 2002. A great success.
Yeah, that's more than this movie deserved to make.
I mean, it came out the same year as Two Towers, which made like $1 billion or something.
Yeah. Just under $1 billion.
Yeah, under $1 billion.
All 3 of those movies combined made just under $3 billion.
It did break the Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh?
Yeah. Can you guess why?
Fucking people dropping a heat stroke in the middle of the desert?
Well, it was filmed in Arizona, but no. Dwayne Johnson, this was his first lead role.
It was.
And he got paid $5.5 million, which is the highest.
A lot.
That's the highest ever for any male actor in a lead role.
Robert Downey Jr. didn't even get that much for portraying Iron Man first, did he?
Well, that was his first role.
Well, no, yeah, but still.
I can't remember how much he made off that. Straight up, this is his first lead role. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure still today, it's still in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's the highest ever for first role.
Yeah,
first lead actor.
That is fucking a lot.
First lead role. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. They really wanted him.
And the only thing he'd ever been before this was the badly CGI Scorpion King. First film role was Mummy Returns.
Oh, wow. Okay, shit. So it's a pretty big transition.
I'm glad they stayed largely away from CGI in this film.
Mm-hmm. I don't really think there's much of any except for some of the snakes.
Yeah. I mean, the snake was obviously CGI. Yeah.
When she sucked the venom out or whatever, sucked the soul out.
It was like small stuff like that. Yeah. It wasn't major, we're going to paste CGI over the screen. Because this is the time period when it's just like, man, PS2 graphics is the best it's ever going to be. Let's put this shit in everything. Get there, Star Wars.
I mean, right? Lord of the Rings never looked bad.
It didn't, but the Lord of the Rings used its CGI for the big scenes, largely, right?
Yeah.
A lot of what they did was green screen. Whenever you see Gandalf standing beside a hobbit, it's literally just McKellen standing by some dude on his knees, which he's probably used to. He likes the hobbits.
Who doesn't?
They're the right size.
Right there, hip level. Anything else you want to say about this movie?
About this movie? I would say definitely watch it.
Yeah, you recommend it, yeah.
I recommend it.
Hate?
The thing is, I can't hate it.
No, it's
I don't like it, but I can't hate it.
It's great. I loved it.
If you were going to sit down and watch a couple of these movies like this together, I would recommend this movie be back-to-back with Conan the Barbarian. I think it goes well with that.
You know what? I'd watch it with the new Conan, with Drogo.
Yeah, that's pretty good too.
I think it kind of coincides.
Well, it's... The newer one's okay.
It's okay, yeah. I think it more falls in line with this. Or... Hercules was actually pretty good. The Rock Hercules.
I prefer it to the Legend.
Okay.
You don't remember that line?
No.
Jesus Christ.
From what movie?
Hercules.
Oh.
You don't remember the Legend of Hercules, the shit Hercules movie that came out that year?
So...
You're talking about the Rock's Hercules movie.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There was also a really shit Hercules movie that came out that year. You probably blocked it out of your brain.
I don't remember that.
You went and watched it in theaters.
Oh, the one where he had the chains and okay. Yeah, that's right. The Legend of Hercules. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My bad.
That was the fucking catch line at the end of it. I prefer it to the Legend.
That's right. God. Yeah, that one was real good. I thought the Dwayne Johnson Hercules movie actually
was good.
It was good. It was a lot different version of Hercules, and I really enjoyed it.
That's the thing, man. I feel like when The Rock steps off into roles like this, it's his tone. Even when they're bad like this movie was, they're not bad.
Yeah, he makes it entertaining. He brings this like charisma to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
if
great.
If this wouldn't have had The Rock in it, we would not remember it today.
Oh, no. There would have been 4 spinoffs.
Right.
Or 4 sequels.
Yeah. As far as hating it goes, this movie's completely cringy all the way through and through. But you know what? It's good. It's a guilty pleasure. I like this movie the same way I like Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
It's a guilty pleasure. I would only give it 2 on the hate meter.
I was actually thinking 2. I think 3 is a little too high. I think 2 is good.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's enjoyable.
It is.
Watch it.
It is.
Give it a watch. You know, you're bored one night.
You can't go wrong. There's worse things.
By far.
But I don't know, man. That's about all I got to say about this one.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of Why I Hate This Movie. As always, I'm Derek Rios, your host, and my co-host, Danny Newton. Subscribe, like, and what's the other one?
Comment, I think.
Yeah, if you enjoy what we're doing.
If you don't enjoy what you're doing.
Also comment.
Yeah, also comment.
And let us know what we're doing wrong.
Yeah. Either way. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It don't matter.
Don't thumbs down. If you don't like it, get the fuck out.
No, you be you, man. You be you. That's all you can be.
No, I'm going to be you. Yeah, so bye.
Bye, guys.